gonna be playing WWE 2K24. I've been playing a lot of my GM recently. It's probably one of my favorite modes out of the entire like options you can play. I'm not a big fan of my faction. Uh, I don't know, it's just not my thing. But yeah, I've been playing this a lot. It's pros and cons to it. You kind of create, you have some create, like feels like you have a little bit more creative control over like how you want a story to go, and I kind of like it. I mean, you get like a set dollar amount. You can have difficulties. I think currently this one is set on just normal. You play like there's 10 seasons you can go through. I obviously only got to season 3 right now, and you try to each individual show, you try to like gain fans and increase your income, like basically your profitability, and then like whichever show at the end, and then you also have these little, excuse me, little challenges that you play throughout the week, or that you have for each week that you each program you do, and I'll show you here in a bit. And so you get little additional perks if you get those, and then if you there's 5 weeks uh, between pay-per-view events. So like if you complete all like every challenge between during those 5 weeks, you get and also on the pay-per-view week you get like a trophy, and you get extra bonus perks. So it's, I don't know, it's something fun. Like I just like I like the idea of being able to make a program that's like trying to make it competitive. Even though I'm playing against myself, like I try to make each show be like try to make it the best I can, and try to make it as enjoyable. So like, hey, I can gain fans and more money. Like the more money you get, it adds to your budget, which means you can either do more extravagant stuff like shows. You can add other things to your show to make it more exciting. But anyway, I'll just go kind of through it. I'm not going to have a super long stream, just FYI. This is just kind of short, but I just wanted to get on and show you, like, I know I haven't streamed in a while, but just show you kind of like a game that I'm like not like obsessed with isn't quite the right word, but I've found myself playing this for like hours on end, just because it is just so like there is quite a bit of time consuming. Like it is kind of time consuming at moments, just because like you're having to like trying to uh, find the right wrestlers to book, or trying to complete these challenges, and just other things like. So anyway, this is your, just go walk through real quick. This is your, up in the upper left hand corner you have the so we're on show 22 of 25. So this is like the last week before WrestleMania. I should do like a WrestleMania show stream. I'll do that maybe uh, maybe this weekend. Uh, but anyway, so here's your homepage. You kind of get a journal of like, you have this challenge, your commissioner challenge, which you get, like I said, here's your, every week you get a challenge from the commissioner, and you if you complete it, you get your green check mark, and then at the so he gives you one. So like in this case, have your most popular female, basically babyface versus heel fight each other. Um, and then, so you have to, when you book the show, you have to make sure you include that in order to complete the challenge. And then you have these little journal, like things like keep track of, like, 'cause throughout the season, wrestlers will approach you with like either, so this one, in this case, Shinsuke Nakamura wants a rematch against Logan Paul. So, and I have to do that within the next 2 weeks. Sometimes I get them done really quickly. Sometimes I forget, and then they get mad at you, and I'm like, all right. So there's a little bit of balancing act. You have to make sure, because you also have to take into consideration like their like how much energy they have, to actually wrestle. If they don't have a lot of energy, you can't you should try to avoid it because it can get them injured, and then you lose them for like a duration of anywhere from a week to I think 4 weeks. Anyway, so you get this. In this case, Candice, like she's been losing a lot to Rhea Ripley, and so I just, you promise them that she won't have her next fight against her. Um, so a lot of times I'll agree to whatever the wrestler wants, just because like they're not super like complicated, or they're just kind of like like I don't know, it's just easy to achieve them, and there's no real reason for me to like want to turn away like a wrestler's um, uh, like request. I mean, especially in normal, like I don't know like what it'd be like in harder difficulty, but anyway. So here's where you basically book your show, like which wrestlers you want to open up the show, and then the main event. You try to find wrestlers. You have to try to complete the commissioner's goal, and then also the other wrestlers' goals. So like I might with Shinsuke's request, I might just go ahead and book him anyway, just to get it out of the way. Um, and then here under show logistics, you can upgrade the basically how your show is presented. So here, and each different item. At each item has like their different little things that you can get like extra little perks or whatnot from adding them to your show. So like if we were to go down to stadium, I would have an increased capacity, which would mean that if it's a sold out show, which usually I think they are, you get like your ticket prices go from $3 to $3.50, which again it's not real. Like this game isn't 100% realistic, obviously, because like if you've ever like looked up a wrestling uh, match or going to a show, they're not cheap. Like they're definitely not cheap to go to a show. I'm sure you can find like cheap nosebleed seats, but they're not going to be $3.50. But anyway, I think it's like to make it so that everybody's kind of even playing field, because you're supposed to really play with this like with. So if you have four different shows, so I have Raw, SmackDown, WCW, and then NXT. Each person, like, that's supposed to be controlled by another player, and I'll get to that here in a little bit when we go over power cards. But so you basically, if you can afford to add these, you'll improve your show quality. You can there's other also like little unlocks, like if adding expert crew or this will actually that didn't have it, but this stage crew added no holds barred matches, and then it's kind of just it sometimes aligns with like the wrestlers and their skill sets. Like maybe there's a wrestler that's like really good at those matches, and you can book them for those matches, and that gives you a better show experience for the audience. Also, wrestlers they level up as you go along. Um, so some of these wrestlers start out at like rookie level, and then some of them start out like at higher levels. So it just really just depends on what you end up getting. But they do level up as you go along, and they do get more skills as you go along too. But they also, when you go to re-sign them each season, they cost a little bit more. And here's where you can scout for. Let's say for me, you want to add like maybe the challenge required you to get like you needed to like I don't know a specialist. Each wrestler has their own different specialty. Like this specialist, cruiserweight. These are a lot of specialists. But anyway, and there's giants. There's like what else? Fighter. Anyway, there's all different sort of classes, and they they sometimes pair well with others, like in matches to make it more exciting. But anyway, uh, so you can sign these like you could sign them if you have the money to do so. If you were like, hey, I need to have somebody wrestle somebody for like a week, or I just want to add a add a new character to maybe give my other stars a break, or I don't, sometimes I don't know if it matters too much. Like I don't know how much it matters. Like I don't know if the audience reacts differently, but you can get like really like top tier stars that are existing now. A lot of these rookie ones are just kind of fake. Some of them are fake characters, but yeah, except for like Post Malone, who's I didn't even know he was going to be in this. He's got a couple of songs that they let like they let him play like he's on the track, the soundtrack. So but they made him a character you can uh, fight with. He was a I think he was a DLC character. So and him and some other people. I it's crazy. I don't generally buy a lot of video games. Typically I wait until the PlayStation is free, which this game was free, and then like I went to the store and I was like I saw all these like little bundle DLC packs and I was like okay, so I bought a bunch of them, and anyway, and they had one free, and I mean I don't know, I pretty much bought everyone that was available, which is uncharacteristic, but I was like, oh, it's cool. I was whatever. Added a bunch of wrestlers. I was like, oh, that's awesome. So anyway, so you can filter them out by role. Like, let's say you're looking for a particular, like, maybe class you're looking for. Like, maybe you want a giant. You can search for those, like, in the whatever, like, whatever rank they are. You can look for it in that. You can manage. I don't really know too much. You can manage the roster. You can kind of just get a feel for like look at the character, understand their skill sets. So you can see here. This is Kevin Owens. His class is a bruiser. He's fan favorite. Which I said babyface, but I mean that's what they call him now, is I guess fan favorite. But anyway, he's happy. That's another thing, you have to keep the wrestlers happy, either by booking them matches, winning matches, other little things that you can do to make them happy. Uh, Sometimes if they get upset, you can give them money. There's little perks like you can use to like that help boost morale. It's um, but here you can see he's got like only he's I probably won't use him in this next week because he's got no energy for this to like really fight. I don't want to risk getting him hurt. So here's where he's got rivalries. Um, this is like his 1v1. Like I forgot who Evans was, but and then his tag team. I forgot who those two people were, but anyway, um, you can release them, and then you get like I think sometimes you'll get the refund. So if you're hard up on cash, I guess, or you don't have any money, that's why I didn't buy that logistics upgrade, because I don't. It's where is it? I think it's this one here. I can afford that, but then I would only have, if you see in the upper right hand corner, my budget is $300,000, $310,000. And if I bought that, I mean, I'd be only, the next show I booked, I'd be basically very limited on what I could do, and so it just wouldn't work for me. Um, but anyway, power cards, like you can use these different little things. If you were playing against other players, you could use some of these, like you could steal a person from their roster. Sometimes I do that to, like, if I'm gonna, instead of working like a trade, I might just take them and put them on my roster without having to lose anybody, and where I don't feel like I'm hurting my other brand that much. So you can, if they do get hurt, you can speed up their recovery quick, like with this one. If Spade, you can increase their stamina, which I'll do here. I'll try to find somebody who's got it pretty low. I think, yeah, I'll just do Kevin Owens because he's got, and this helps bring up their energy level. So you still can't use him for the next round, like this round, but for next time I think he'll be a 37 or a little bit higher. So I think that's another way you can make uh, wrestlers happy, is by sending them to spa days. So if a wrestler is really upset that they're losing a lot, and they come to you and say, "Hey, I'm mad. Like, I don't wanna. If I lose one more match, they'll quit." Uh, you can fix the match to where it guarantees that whoever you pick will win that round. So, because the other thing you can do, which I thought you could do, is recruit like some low end rookie, and I've had that where I'll pick Bobby, and he'll fight somebody that's is like a higher rank than him, and the person who's higher ranked, that's like mad that they've been losing all the time, goes up against this low ranked person, and they still lose. And I'm like, I literally went out and bought somebody for you to win against, and you still lose. Okay, I don't know. It's kind of weird. But anyway, I'm sure there's stuff I'm gonna miss. Here's where you can see, like, you can just see the different. You can track how well you do, like, trend wise, uh, versus the other shows. How well you're doing against what you've done for revenue, like how many fans you've added, season challenges. I don't know. It's interesting. I like this part. It's kind of like it's a weird adult game to play. You're managing things. You're picking out, like, you're budgeting stuff. Um, you're trying to make your customers happy. It's a very, like, fun game. Like, if I could do this for real, like like, I know this isn't real deal. Like, I mean, I'm sure this is more like stressful in the actual wrestling business, but um, anyway, because the there is some, like, where the reality is, like, nobody would get mad that they've lost like 6 matches in a row. They might be like, okay, I want to win now, but they understand that's why it's like it's fake, it's fixed anyway. Like, the wins don't matter. But they might say, hey, I'd like to go on a little win streak, maybe increase my profile within the company and the fan base. But I don't know. I don't think anybody would be like, oh man, if you don't book my next match and if I don't win, I'm gonna leave. It's like they're all in on the joke. So anyway, I don't know, but I don't know. There's something about it, like being able to book this stuff and just trying to figure out, kind of like a little bit of a puzzle piece here, like figure out what's gonna work, what's gonna get the best show, the best product, I suppose. You can auto book the show. I don't do that. I like to figure out, like, I like to try to figure out what I need to do, or to try to make the best show I can. Um, so we do that one as the opener. They wanted to, even so what I'll do here So in order to get that accomplished, I have to use Ronda Rousey and I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'll just say her last name, Hartwell. Uh, this will give them both like a basically kind of a warm up that oh damn. Well, I thought you could do it, but it'll give them both like oh, give Ronda like a sort of like it helps kind of buffer from getting injured. Even though they're both kind of 39, you're not supposed to go below 40. Otherwise, that's when you start to get start to get close to getting injured. And I will pick you. So down in the bottom, in the middle, underneath the opener, it says Commissioner Gold Met. So now I know I'm on the right track. I don't have to do anything else. You can change. You can make this a title match. You can select the match rules. So if you see this, how it says extreme rules, and there's like a star in the center of the ring, that means either one or both of them, of those two ladies, have specialized in that particular match, in that type of match. So if it's one person, they're more likely to win, but it also gives like a better overall performance. Each match costs, so it costs like there's a stamina cost, which if you go to like something that's more extreme, like a Hell in a Cell, it's very high. So like I would expect that if I selected that Hell in a Cell, that either one or both of them are going to get hurt, and I don't want that. So, but it gives a higher, like it's guaranteed to have like a quality boost, like as best as it can. Um, and then you also give them more experience in the ring experience, like leveling up wise. So uh, they are gonna just continue to level up. Whereas if you select normal, they don't have a lot of in-ring experience, and you can see that the quality level is really low. That's one kind of takeaway. Like one thing I don't really like is that you could have this game kind of typically tries to it it almost makes it more of a circus versus I don't know, show quality is based upon like how much risk the wrestlers put themselves through. But you could have this is where I disagree. Like you could have a great match and there be nothing but like them following the rules. Like that's the one thing that kind of irks me. And sometimes it does happen if you pair them up right with the right wrestlers, but I don't know. I don't know. The idea that somehow you gotta it has to be something extreme, otherwise the people won't like it. I don't think that's accurate. You can make this a title match, so because one of them holds the title, Hartwell holds the title. Looks like Ronda Rousey. I think Ronda Rousey has the tag team championship. But I'm not gonna make this a title match right now. I don't. It's not really an interest. You can change interference. The only thing is, like, if you actually add it, make it a run-in, you can only simulate the game. Like, you can't actually play or control the game after, like, when it comes time to run through the show. You're limited, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. You can do run-in, GM interference, and I think in this case, like, the GM picks does something. I can't remember what it does, but I've never really used it. Yeah. Like I said, there's tag teams, triple threats, fatal four ways. That's it as far as that goes. I'm sure there probably could be like a 6-man elimination, but I don't know. They just give it to 4, but it's all right. So now I'm happy with that. I'm gonna go ahead and save it, and you can see that it cost me $0. That's the other thing is like if you pick some of the, you can see in the bottom right hand corner, you can see that the more like depending on which type of match it is, costs more money. Um, but yeah, it's weird. Sometimes like extreme rules cost like false count anywhere is to me is equivalent to extreme rules because like I don't know like I know that you can there's probably baseball bats that I don't know it's just very weird. They're very similar in style, but I don't know. Anyway, also there's so you can see your Iron Man. It adds to popularity, but you get increased chance of injury. So like each one of these has different kind of can have different types of like perks or disadvantages depending upon which you pick. So submission, I like that one because you can have a rivalry. You can have one-on-one rivalries. So. Uh, yeah, costs. I don't know. Sometimes I try to look for stuff that's like, um, try to find something that's gonna, where I'm not spending too much, but I'm like, I try not to go anywhere over $50,000 if I'm gonna book a match. Let's do this. I don't know. Sometimes I try to find like wrestlers that would either go well against like who I think would make a good matchup, or sometimes it's also dependent upon availability to like I don't want to put people in there that are like close to like uh, have no energy. I'll make this a title match. Also, if you pair up people and they work well together, I think it auto books them. So, like, let's say I selected Logan Paul, it automatically selected Robert Roode, which you don't. You could you can take him off, but I'm gonna keep him on. But you can change it out if you want to customize it. So I think Robert is good. Yeah, so you can see somebody here is good at tables, and somebody's good at, I think Robert's good at tornado tag matches, which I'm going to go ahead and put that on because they all kind of have good energies levels, so I'm not really too worried about injury. So, and I'm going to go ahead and save that. Um, Sometimes you can have rivalries that like maybe have gone on too long and they become stale, and so then like you have to you try to like finish out the rivalry by doing one of those special event matches. Then in order to like so self promo, if you have a let's say you have a wrestler that's their energy levels low, but so you try to like let's say even though he's at this let's say Kevin Owens wasn't at the spa, I didn't assign him to have a spa day. You could select him and his stamina would increase. So it's a good option. Like if you don't want to like you want to make sure that they're getting rest and so that you can use them for future events. Because that's where it's like okay, you can make some good money and gain a lot of fans on future events. There's other options, self promo. You can call out like let's say um, you want to increase this rivalry. You can have them. You can book that. You can do tag teams. You can ask like say somebody wants to do a role change. so they're no longer like good guy or bad guy. You can have somebody do advertisements, so which does have some negative consequences. Like fans will like boo you, like boo or like their popularity will drop. So you want to be careful about you using this option, but you do gain some money off of it if they do, like depending on how well they do. Is a good way for like them to gain popularity, um, but fans can also like still boo you and you can lose. I think you can lose it as well. But anyway, so now that I know like this is the roster that I want, this is what I want to set up, I will go ahead. Oh, I didn't do Shinsuke. That's okay. I'll do that like on the next round. I think it should be alright. So now I'm into the confirmed booking. I met the commissioner's goal, and then next week I'll do Shinsuke. Okay, so after each pay-per-view, I think it's after each, or maybe after each show, you get these little things where you get your wrestlers. They come to you with either gripes or praise on like you completing their like what you promised them. Um, so, or some people want more show experience. Like this guy wants to be boss has to get more ring experience possible. Journey becoming greatest superstar. Put me okay. Sounds fine. So he wants to be in a no holds bar match. He's got the stamina for it, and I'm like, all right, that should be good. I don't care. It's not gonna hurt. It'd be actually if it works out, it'll be a good show. Talking to Dragon, Steamboat lately, and so sometimes people will come to you for about tag teams. I really don't care. Like that's fine. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Like people will go, hate the match, but you find out like you get good pairs. Like sometimes you get like future tag team people you might use for future events. So I don't know. I don't generally turn stuff down. Available specialist is in this match this week. So one thing I like to do is first I check the power cards. I'd like to see if like what's available. I always if I have enough money, which in this case I do, I will buy like the spa stuff, health things, contract extensions. That's one thing you have to be mindful of. Notes, contracts, like people's contracts. You sign people first. Like there's two different types. Like there's like your normal person that you booked like for at the beginning of the year, and their contract, they're good. They're there as long as they're happy. They will be on your roster, and then you sign other people to like either short-term deals or long-term deals, depending upon your need, or what you think you can get. Like maybe I can add a little more pop to my shows by having these illustrious superstars. Yeah. So probably about to be super expensive in the next couple weeks, cause yep. So you can extend contracts without actually paying them. Like you can if you have these. Probably don't have one, but it's okay. You can get like a contract extension power card that adds either a week or 2 weeks or 4 weeks to their contract. So sometimes if you play it right, you can basically extend their contract through the end of the year. So that's something to be mindful of. That's something I try to be mindful of, like when I'm so like if I see, let's say I wanted to get Dominic, I'm like, okay, It's going to cost me $42,000 for the till the end of end of the season to hire him. Let's say I don't know, maybe there was still 6 weeks left. It might cost me 42,000 for like 5 weeks, and then I'd have to pay. Maybe if I had that contract, I'd be like, okay, well, once his maybe once his like we get closer, it's like, oh, I'll just buy one of those contract extensions, and then if I like him and he's performing well and his mood isn't bad, then I'll extend it and without having to sacrifice paying him more. But so I can buy it, but then I'd be broke, or I couldn't really do a whole lot. Least popular available specialist is the match this week. Okay. Partner. Especially match with in 2 weeks, no hold barred. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get this one knocked out. Randy. I don't know if you watched Trailer Park Boys, but anytime I hear somebody say Randy, I always think of like, I think it's Jim Leahy when he goes Randy. I used to love that show. I used to watch that all the time. Let's do. I don't know. Sometimes it's a guessing game. I just try to find just whoever I can who I think might be a good matchup, and like I said, put on a good show. Sometimes they want to have good guys versus bad guys or different classes, so a giant versus a cruiserweight for whatever reason. I mean, I think it's just like the David and Goliath type storyline, but so yep, we'll do these two. That one dude wanted to do no holds barred mission. Yeah, let's make him do this. He wants to fight. Let's go for it. So we gotta get our least popular specialist. She's ticked. There's goal is met. I probably should get her somebody to beat up on, just because I don't know if she's mad because she's probably because she's lost or has been fighting really just nobodies. That's fine. Sometimes I get in this bad habit of just spending money. It costs you money to search for talent, and it costs you these little talent scout tokens or points. So depending upon how high you want to go, I don't think it costs more than 3 points, but it costs you $50,000 to search for somebody, and then that's just to search for somebody. And then if you're oh, I want that person, it might cost you an extra 100,000 or more just to sign them for 5 weeks. So then you got to think about, okay, if you want to keep using that person for the remainder of the year, it's going to keep costing you, you have to keep coming up with $100,000 or more. So it's like that's where it's like juggling your budget. It's just very kind of you kind of have to be very. It'd probably be a lot harder if it was on like the more difficult like level, but I'm on normal, so anyway. Uh, let's do let's do icons. Yes, not great. Although I like live. Excuse me. I don't like. There's no. I don't know. I don't think there's anybody like right or wrong reason like why like for me like sometimes like since I've been playing this for like 3 seasons now, I kind of like I kind of like this guy. He's a really good matchup, or he sometimes like he's like a maybe their class is who I'm look like what I need, um, or I need to add more. Like let's say I wanted to hire this guy, I need more bruisers on my roster, or like maybe I don't have enough like women fighters. Then I'm like okay. Plus I've heard of Liv Morgan outside of this game. I'm like okay, cool. I'd like she'd be a good addition to my roster. Um, she could add some like she adds a lot of stuff that I'd be like okay, that's fun. Plus I think I'm in like the final like I got like 3 more weeks until WrestleMania, but yeah. So like I don't know. I think the more like talented they are, the better shows they might put on. But I don't know how accurate that is. I could be wrong. So I might sign. I mean, you can sign them for like you can sign them for shorter periods of time too. It's crazy. Okay, so here's the thing. We're in week 22, and maybe I'm wrong, but that means and there's 25 weeks. There's 3 weeks left. That means it really should be it should be this amount should take you all the way through to the end of the year, but they're saying I don't know, like I don't know, maybe I'm just not doing my maths good, but I don't know, I could save what is that? Like 11,000 no, $12,000 by just going here and then I don't know what it would cost if, but that's the thing like if you go to renegotiate the contract and she's like, "Well, I'll do the remainder of the season for 26,000," we might as well just sign her for 12, the extra 12. And then I'll sign this dude. I'm kind of I'll just sign him. Dang, that's a lot of money. I got a book. I don't know. Sometimes that part like that's one thing like it's tough. Like when you gotta like you gotta book people. You have to be mindful like they're like how they're doing. It's kind of you can just I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of it's a little annoying like and that's maybe like what it's like when you're managing people in general. It's just like you're constantly like, oh, okay, so and so's got this problem. They're not happy with how they're you being utilized. Blah blah blah. It's like okay, so you just kind of have to like figure out ways to bring back their morale. Like either pair them up with somebody that's like maybe a good like an easy win, or um, uh, you and I might do run-ins just to uh, like even maybe to make it so that Cindy wins. But you just kind of have to do like these little things like to try to find ways to help make them win or make them bring their morale back up. So it's not always easy. title match. Do promo. I have a real bad memory about some of that stuff. I'm like, what do I gotta do again? Let's do a tag team call out. There it is. Sometimes it's just random, like, I don't know, I'll pick like random tag teams. I'm like, okay. So like NXT, one of the wrestlers got offered a role to do a movie, and they paid the movie company like paid us like $600,000 to let him go do this movie. So like that's why I got so much money on this one. So I don't know, with like this, sometimes I'm like, I really don't, I just go for like whatever. I look at how much I got, and in this case, like I'm doing okay. When I'm doing more than okay, I'll be like, okay, not a big deal. Sometimes you have to like, you just gotta go, okay, that's not even worth it. You can, at the risk of morale, like you can, and sometimes you can insult them. It, I mean, it may be insulting, like some, like some of these like bigger names, like if you offer them lower dollar amount, that will, it'll offend them, and they'll be like, oh, I don't remember if they'll walk away. But some of these like fake made up wrestlers, they'll take it. They're like, okay, that's fine. Sometimes you go like, oh, I can't afford that, and then you just walk away. There's no like, it's weird. Like it's not like there's no bad blood if you do that, from what I've seen. So it's kind of just like, okay, whatever. I mean, sometimes you can't afford it. I'll do it. Sometimes based upon like, and this one, I think this means that like I already have an authorization to extend that. I think, I don't know, like there's a built-in perk, like I have a perk that I can use to extend their contract, but apparently I can do it, uh, uh, like I could just do this and this guy would be satisfied. He'll say something like, first time I've heard of it, and then, uh, and then, uh, you don't have to like negotiate. You just actually like bypasses this part, and then I think he just continues to wrestle for you. Um, but I'm not sure like how, like what the, like if it like naturally extends his contract, but there you go. Yeah, okay, so he'll talk again soon. End of this week. Sometimes, I don't know, depending upon the 38. Let's just do it for. Yeah, so you get the decrease. So he's not happy now. Things aren't working out. Oh yeah, so if like so this guy's not happy, so he's asking for 100K, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready to I can move on. Uh, in this case, like, depends, like, sometimes, like, if they come at you like this, like, A, do I have the money? And two, it's like, sometimes, like, it's dependent upon the star, like, who it is. I'm like, okay, well, I don't really see utilizing you that much, and, like, you're not really that valuable to me. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move on from you. So you might say, like, no chance, but this guy, I'll do it. And this obviously raises their mood. Obviously, who doesn't love getting just a random, not random, but like a 100K bonus? Okay, so in this case, I can afford to increase it. I generally go for like the stuff that's gonna net me more money first. And maybe I'm not the best finance bro, but that's usually where I start. This you like say you could say, well, you get 4,000 more fans, which you'll see at the end of this when I do the simulation, is that you get TV you get TV advertisement revenue, which it's not a lot. It's like 0.001 5 cents. That's what you get per. So times that by whatever how many ever fans you have. So if you have 4 million fans, that's the number you end up getting. I this is just me talking about it. I think that's a pretty like that seems like a legit like thing that they do though. Like, from the TV standpoint, fulfilled. Rest your primary solo champions this week. Okay. Alright, so I can't have any book my shows, my primary champions. I can't have any of them fight. So that's okay because he doesn't have any energy, which is the crazy. I've been doing this for like a while, like with him, and his energy is never, like it only goes up a little bit marginally. So I'm kind of like, if I get this, if I'm not gonna resign X-Pac like next season. Just not been like, not good for me. It's weird. Like some people win the belt and they're not happy, like still not happy, and you're like, well, okay, what do you want me to do? Oops. Oh yeah, fixed match. Yes. Yes. Sometimes if I have a lot of money, sometimes I'll look at the talent scouts and see what's up, see if there's anybody that I'm like, oh yeah, it'd be good to add. Be a good person to add to the roster. Health spa. Doesn't it? I think it raises their morale if you send them there. Because let's just try it. Doesn't like X-Pac's good. This dude's good. This guy could use it. Ah, yes, it raised his morale. He was like kind of like meh. And he went to somewhat happy. So that's the other thing you can do is like you can raise their morale. And I think if you also do this, like where you give them XP, they like improves their like mood. Sometimes, I guess. Let's fix the match. want to hire him for this round. Sometimes I'll just do that. Like if I knew it's like this person would like want to fight, then when I want to have them like win for sure, I'll just hire them for like a week, and then you don't have to negotiate their contract. You don't have to negotiate anything. You just like they just go away. They don't have any like that's it. They don't come back and say, hey, I want to keep wrestling for you for another blah blah blah. Here's how my price. They just go back in the pool. All right. So I don't like that he's got 30, so I'm going to remove him and him. Okay, my champions. Solo champions. So when I just pick, it is all just like just random for me. I'm just like, okay, this person fights this person. No rhyme or reason, just like, oh. Sometimes after I've been playing for a while, just like sometimes I'll just do it. I'll just go, okay, I want this person, and this person. Like, oh yeah, I failed this one, and that'll lower their morale as well. Like if you promise them like a match that week or something, like maybe they need a rematch against somebody because they lost the belt, and you fail to give them that rematch first, or I don't know. There's a wide range of reasons why you can, if you fail to fulfill that promise. Like I usually fail either because I can't do it because it's either like they're part of the commissioner goal, or I forget, or I don't want to risk injury. So that's usually what happens. Like they'll like, I gotta wrestle this week against so and so, and I'm like, well, shoot, I can't because you're gonna die. So last man standing. All right. So now you pretty much go through each round. You can spectate. I would never want to do that. That would bore the hell out of me. You can play it, or you can simulate. I mostly simulate.
1, 2, that's it. Ring the bell.
She's self-promo, so she didn't do well with the audience, even though she's like a really famous wrestler, but okay. The audience will always like sound that way when it's title match. They'll always like do the 1, 2, 3 part. So turning out to be a really good show so far.
1, 2, it's over. Bring it.
Okay, yeah. If you get mediocre, like two, anything below like 2 stars, people are like, you'll hear boos, which kind of Kind of sucks. Like you try to find matches that fit, but sometimes it's like, all right, whatever.
1, 2, ring the bell. That's it. Ring the bell.
She was like I think she is the champion. She was the champion, like, or she was like her morale was like kind of low. She won the belt, and that didn't make her happy at all. Like, and she was a champion for a while, and it's like she was still miserable. I'm like, I don't know what's gonna make you happy. Please tell me. Some of the characters are really kind of goofy, but anyway.
1, 2, ring that bell.
Sometimes you get fight like wrestlers that you think, oh, this is a great matchup, and then they don't do well, and you're like, what the heck? All right, let's see.
1, 2, it's over. It's over. Bring it.
There you go. Yeah. Dull. I always like it when there's like a change in title holders, so that's kind of neat. I think they should have gotten the belts. I thought I had made this title match. Anyway.
1, 2, ring that bell.
It's weird. Sometimes, like some of the wrestlers will ask for specific matches. They'll promise you, oh, the people will love it, and then they go do that specific match, and then the people hate it. You're like, you're fired.
1, 2, that's 3. Ring the bell. 1, 2, that's it. Ring it.
You can speed through this. Like you can actually do like a simulate the whole thing. But I like to go through one by one.
1, 2, that's it. Ring the bell.
There we go. So at the end of it, each show, you get you basically get what the expectations were and see how well you matched up with that for each show, and also compared to the other shows and what they did. Obviously, if you're playing this together with people, you're gonna know already, but yep. I don't know. It's kind of a neat. You can go through each one. Let's see, match report. Oh, I didn't even really notice this, but like the you can see all these different star ratings, I guess. See why it worked, I guess what made it. Popularity, performance, they did really well performance-wise. But you can go through each one of them if you wanted to. Anyway, continue, and then you kind of get this breakdown of like viewership and then revenue. Right now, I pretty much have I've kind of speed through these sometimes. but you kind of see like up in the corners, like how well you did, like what your grade was, um, and then at the end you look at on the right hand under viewership, like how many new fans you made. So I made 32,000 new fans, and then basically took home $151,000, which I realize isn't like a true like what business like this isn't like realistic at all, but still it's kind of fun to like, oh, I got this much budget, spent this much, made this much. And then you can see the show notes. It's a lot of like kind of like tweet, like almost like people tweeting or Xing, I guess. I don't know if that how it works, but you can kind of see like fans' reactions to it, to the show. It's basically the same thing for each one. Like I said, try to do well. Like even though I'm playing against myself. I'm playing all four roles. Like I try to make each show as entertaining as possible. Just because it's I don't know. Like I don't want to I don't want to lose, but also like I want to make each brand successful. I mean, I know that's not going to be possible for each one because somebody's got to win, somebody's losing, but okay, first. Contract negotiation number 2, that's pretty good. And then you see your rank based upon Hall of Fame trophies, your fans, and your budget. So, yup. So you get pretty much this stuff. You get messages from people. So this guy, Sami Zayn, he wants to be featured this week, and which no problem, easy to do. She wants to be on the upcoming pay-per-view. So, and you can't go forward. You can't go to the next one until you book all this stuff. So, but anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off because I'm gonna go ahead and get my dinner ready. And I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, leave a like. I know this isn't quite the normal running gun type stream, but I don't know. I've been other than Call of Duty, I played this a lot. It's pretty enjoyable. I just enjoyed like I said, the booking the shows, trying to find fun matches, trying to find talent that would work great for that particular show's roster, or try to make the roster even better, or um, or hopefully help my my stars, do better. Here's one of the perks or power cards you can get that will help boost the morale. I don't know. It's kind of nice. Sometimes you get some of these, but you get bonus points or boosts to the quality of one of like this one. If you book the entire show as steel cage matches, one of those is gonna get randomly gonna be it's gonna get a better rating than the other ones. But anyway, I might buy this GM Superstar one. I like to have those. I like to have fixed matches on hand. I like any of these health ones, spas, rehabs. Some of these ones where you steal from other players, or obviously I don't want to hurt myself because that doesn't help me and it doesn't really add any value. But for me, like playing wise, like put the stick in my tire and trip myself, I guess. could be bad. But anyway, I think I don't have any injured players. Yep. So that's pretty much why like. There's times where I just play this and it's like super fun. I'm just try to find. Oh, so like I think they had like a. What did these guys have? These had like a. I forgot what match they had, but their stamina is really low, so I'll send them one to the spa. So this does this because it's spa 3. It boosts their energy way up. So he'll be ready for probably. Oh shit! I just failed. Damn it. See, now he's gonna be ticked because I forgot. This is what happens. I forget, and then I do stuff like that, and then now it's like he won't get to make an appearance in front of his hometown. So now when next week rolls around, he'll be like, "What happened? I thought you were gonna book me in front of my friends and family and let them da da da." And you're like, all right, sorry, dude, my bad. Oh well. If he's really bummed out, I'll just give him one of these, and he'll be back to normal. But anyway, well, I think that's it for me. Like I said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like. If you want to see more, let me know. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye bye.